Welcome back to Next Level Alignment. Today we're going to talk about faith. Faith is a strong belief in someone or something. And that stems from, most of the time it stems from religion, but we all were really born with the ability to have faith in things. We were born to believe that, things can happen that we didn't know that they could happen. We've all pretty much accomplished some type of goal in our life that demonstrates some level of faith. Some people have higher levels of faith, some people have bigger visions, and some people have lower levels of faith. And that is, really what you end up getting in your life is based off of what you're allowing yourself to visualize. So if your vision's very small, which mine was for a very long time, actually, I thought my vision was really big, but I could never connect to the bigger vision. So I had a big vision, and that's how most people are. They have these huge visions of this big dream or something that they want, or have some kind of lifestyle that they want, or some type of thing or business, or maybe it's a person, a relationship, just whatever it might be. They have a big idea, but not a big vision. So the vision is more than the idea. So this is where faith comes into place. If you can hold the faith, Bob Proctor used to say, if you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And what that meant was faith. And so that is just the ability to continue to believe that what you want is going to come into fruition no matter what the circumstances are going on around you. So you go through those circumstances and you continue to believe that you are still going to have the thing that you want. That, and so what happens with most people, it's happened to me, it happens to me all the time. Because this is just how we're wired and how, things have been programmed into our thinking levels. And what we do is we get to a certain point and believing in something, because in the beginning, think about it, something's so easy to believe in. You're like, I'm going to get this, I'm going to do that. And then you start getting closer to it by saying that you have faith, and you get real close to it. And then you're like, wait a minute, I don't think I can do this. I don't know if this is right. What if this isn't right? Because what happens is things start showing up in your life and you start looking at those things and saying, this couldn't mean that I'm getting closer to it, because it looks like I'm getting further and further away from it. Or these things are challenging me in ways that there's no way I could ever get to what I want to get to. And that is faith. That's how it works. But what I want you to know is that the true faith, the way to truly get to where you want to be, is to keep going through it and not giving up and continuing on until you get the results that you want. So even, I know what, most people do is they continue to go in a direction, and then they start to waver and they start to doubt. And this is all biblical too, even about like when Jesus walked on the water, when Peter, doubting Thomas, all the things that you read about, this is what it's talking about. But it's got to be explained, number one. You've got to understand it, number two. And if you don't understand how the laws of the universe work, then you're going to give up before things get where you want them to get. And also, we can make those things worse with our own intentions as well. So what I'm trying to say is, here's a journey. Here's my journey. I'm trying to get here to here. I want this to be my goal. And I'm excited about it. I'm moving towards it. It's moving towards me. We're getting closer, and we get right here. We get really close. And all of a sudden, I take a dive because I'm like, there's no way. I'm trying to get here, and the road's blocked, and there's police everywhere, and there's a wreck, and it's taking a 20-hour detour. And in that 20 hours, my faith starts dwindling. I stopped thinking about how easy it was to get there and how good it was going to feel to get there. I start looking at all the circumstances around me and all the things that are stopping me from getting there. And so then I start taking this dive and start going in a different direction, because just because there was a little roadblock put up for 20 hours or 20 days or even 20 months, sometimes we give up. So then we start to go in a different direction because we don't think that that can happen. And then it circles back around, and here we go again, and we start trying to come to that goal again. And we're getting real close, and those things start happening again, because remember what happened last time? Remember what happened in the past? That's what our brain starts telling us, because last time I got this close, there was a 20-hour roadblock. Last time I got close to this, things started going crazy, and there was no way I was ever going to get to it. So I had to take a different route in a different direction. But what if What if you didn't give up? What if you decided to say, everything that's happening right now is happening for me so that I can get closer to it? Because the more I learn to ignore the distractions on the outside and continue to listen to what's going on the inside and focusing on that, that is what's truly going to get me there. Because God does not give you this beautiful plan. How many times have you looked back in your life and said, I never thought I was going to get there, but I did. And it didn't even happen the way I thought it was going to happen. And that is how it works, because his plan is better than ours. And when we continue to have faith, we continue to get closer to what we want to get. But it's kind of like I feel like I've always said this, but how bad do you really want it kind of thing? Like you're saying you have the faith, you're thinking about it, you're feeling like, oh, I know I can do this. But when it comes down to it, do you have enough faith to get all the way through it to the other side? And that's anything. That could be something small in your life. It can be something big in your life. That can be whatever. It can be relationships, jobs, goals, whatever. And also, if we've told ourselves and programmed our brain to think that it's really hard to get to that goal, then the complications, the challenges that come around in front of us are going to be harder to overcome too, because we have told ourselves it's going to be so hard to get there. It's such a big leap. I don't know if I could ever do anything like that, but I'm going for it. It's going to be hard. And when you go into it with that energy, that's exactly what you're going to get back. So this is supposed to be a short video, and I want to make my video short because I want you to be able to get something out of each and every video. And my attention span is not long, and I want it to be able to to reach people that have short attention spans, long attention spans, whatever, whoever this is. But so what if you decided to say, I am going to reach the goal of getting to my destination, whatever that might be. It doesn't matter what it is. It has nothing. It does not matter what it is. I want these fingers to touch the palm of my hand. And for some reason, something just kept getting in the way of it, and I couldn't get my fingers to my hand. Now I've got my fingers to my hand. I've accomplished my goal. Yay. I had the faith, did the thing. I've got what I wanted, right? And what I want you to do is I want you to start to reprogram what you say, because your words are so powerful. And I want you to start out saying, this is what I want. And it's going to be such a beautiful journey. And it's going to allow me to learn some beautiful things. And it's going to happen with such ease and grace that I could have never made it so easy in all my life. I could have never thought that it would be that easy or done anything to make it more easy than it was. And when you start to really, really dive deep into that, connect to that and feel it and believe it, then your faith becomes stronger and you start going through things and getting to your destinations a lot faster than you did before, because you, again, had been programmed and told yourself that it was going to be so hard to get there. You didn't know if you were going to get there. There was so much a big of a gap between you and the thing you wanted. But now, if you learn how to get rid of the gap, because that's the only thing there is between you and what you want is your gap. And the gap is you feeling like there's a gap, feeling like there's something there that's stopping you from getting there, or that there's no way you can get there. First of all, you have to believe and have faith that you can get there, and you have to believe that it's not going to be hard. And you have to believe that everything that comes up, that you are able to handle it, that you're going to step through it with ease and grace, and that someone's there with you, helping you all along the way, which is God. Okay? God, Holy Spirit, mine's Father, Son, Holy Spirit, whatever language you use to refer to God, that's what's going to get you through it. But you've got to program your brain to be on the same wavelength as what God is doing. And what God is doing is saying, it doesn't have to be hard. That's so easy for me. I'm God. You're the one making it hard. So stop, think, rewire, reword, and we're going to do more work around this to help you become more faithful, have a higher and bigger level of faith so that you may accomplish things in a faster, shorter period of time, because you are going to program your brain to believe that it can happen faster for you. And that is what will really happen for you. Okay. So you're going to see, that's what people call quantum leaps. That's what you're going to see happening in your life. If you continue to listen to this, this is where we're going. I hope you will join in with Next Level Alignment. I love you. Have faith today. Look for reasons and things to have faith in all day long and depend on God for that. And see what you can do with your life. See and practice your faith. That is what I want you to do. Practice your faith.